Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey.
Welcome to a very special episode of Respawn. With the recent announcement of our new web series, Receiver, we thought that we would really deep dive into some of the topics that are, broached in this series.
It's important shit.
Yeah, and it gets a little heavy, so we thought we would start a new segment here and call it Trippin' Balls with Respawn.
Yeah.
And today we have a very special guest, actually. Kindred Souls with Hutch. I think Hutch is going to introduce us.
No, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Introduce us to your friend.
Well, actually, I really like the title that you used, Trippin' Balls, because I think it implies thinking about things that are exciting and unsettling because they make us consider reality in a new way. And that's something that definitely I think that the series Receiver is going to be doing. It's going to be asking a lot of questions about the nature of what we know and what we're aware of in the world and what's lurking just beyond appearances and just beyond our awareness at all moments.
What's your participation in on the Receiver project right now?
Well, the creator of the series, David Van Eisen, he approached me to see if I wanted to create a series of thought pieces that explored the ideas that are going to be explored and raised in the series itself. So kind of like leading up to the series, it would be interesting to start talking about the nature of evolution, the nature of technology, to ask questions about the fact that, for example, in the last 100 years of technological evolution, we've created more change than in the last billion years of biological evolution. What is the origin of language? What is the origin of human self-awareness? I mean, are we looking at something like the film 2001: A Space Odyssey with some kind of monolith that always seems to show up at some key point that sort of slingshots the species and our progress forward in some way and telescopes the nature of evolution? It goes faster and faster. And so he thought that I would be perhaps a nice moderator for that discussion because I have an interest in this stuff.
Mind is blown already.
Where are my
by the
balls?
way.
I've tripped.
Only we're not even 60 seconds in.
Wow.
Although I'm tripping extreme balls right now because I don't even know our guest's name, Hutch. You're such a terrible.
Actually, if you heard a minute ago, I said I'll let you introduce yourself. And,
Sorry about that.
If you chose not to say your name, maybe, you know what? Maybe he doesn't want to be recognized by a singular name. He doesn't want to be put in a
I can
box
tell
like
he
that.
is a professional
My bad. No.
ball
Okay. So
tripper.
my name is Jason Silva, and I spent the last 4.5 years hosting a TV show for Current, Al Gore's cable network, which sought to pioneer citizen journalism and user-generated content, give a voice to the voiceless and whatnot. And but I've always had an interest in big ideas. I studied film and philosophy, and I recently became a fellow at the Hybrid Realities Institute, which looks at the coevolution of humans and technology. It sort of asks the question if we are becoming a new species by assimilating these powerful tools that are extending our nervous systems, so to speak, beyond its traditional bounds. So, for example, people talk about the iPhone and they call it the extended mind. There's these cognitive philosophers that say that the iPhone has become outsourced cognition, where aspects of our memory and aspects of our mental apparatus are functioning, right? It doesn't have to be physically tethered to us to be a part of who and what we are. And is that different from what we were when we lived in the cave?
So I have a question for you on that topic then.
Yeah.
Is a machine like smoke a lot? Is a machine like an iPhone an entity in itself, or does it only become an entity in tandem with human interaction? Because how? Yeah, you know what I mean.
What about Angry Birds? What does that mean?
That is a good question.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, certainly, I don't think that the iPhone is sentient. I don't think that the iPhone is self-aware yet. But I do think that
What about Android?
Yeah, well, maybe
Big
the Android
Android fan.
But it is a tool that extends the functioning and the boundaries of our minds beyond the skin bag. So, whereas the first wireless technology, language, allowed me to encode information in vocal patterns and transmit it through time and space. I could put pictures in your heads wirelessly by saying boobs or vagina.
I just thought of boobs.
worked.
And it worked. First wireless technology. That was language. That was invented 50,000 years ago. But that technology didn't have very much reach. The technology of language could only reach the people around me, only if they had their attention, the people maybe of my village. But the information technology revolution, which at the moment is peaking with the iPhone, has given us the ability to send our thoughts to one another across the world. You know, there's a cyborg anthropologist who calls this technosocial wormholes. Every time you make a telephone call, you're linking a wormhole that folds time and space, that allows your mind to communicate with another mind across the world.
All right, now I got a question. I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole. Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
It's like the Matrix when you take the blue pill.
Real quick though, are you excited for Modern Warfare 3?
I am excited. I'm excited at the rate, the pace of change of the evolution of these video games. That I've heard that Call of Duty, for example, was a piece of media that has made more money than any film ever made, for example. I think that we're moving towards a future in which we're casting the viewer, the spectator, who was once passive when he watched films, now gets to be the hero, and he gets to change the story just by participating in the story.
That's exciting.
And games, obviously, they offer us alternate realities. They offer us the ability to experience different dimensions of existence, simulated worlds that have the same kind of psychological impact as the real world. And I mean, that's where we're moving. So yeah, as an aside,
I hope girls watch this and realize that gamers really are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And transcendental.
Oh, they absolutely are. And by the way, once we have full immersive virtual reality,
it's on.
Don't worry about the girls, because you'll have like virtual girls that will be much more. They'll be like us but female. I don't know.
I don't know if there was a Matrix type program. I can't guarantee you that I wouldn't go full on Agent Smith. You know, just go full on Agent Smith for like an hour and kill like 100 people and then come back.
I'd go Agent
Dick Smith.